It was a quiet afternoon in a hidden boardroom. Behind closed doors, Yahoo's top executives huddled around a table. On that table lay a decision that could have changed the future of the internet. One wrong move. One moment of hesitation. And billions slipped through their fingers. While the world watched, silently, Yahoo chose failure. How did a company that once ruled the internet let everything crumble in a single secret meeting? Today, we uncover the meeting that cost Yahoo its empire, and the shocking truth behind their choice. In the early days of the internet, Yahoo wasn't just a company, it was the internet. A bright yellow homepage, simple search bar, and a universe of content that drew millions. Email, news, games, and directories, Yahoo had it all. People didn't just visit Yahoo. They lived there. By the late 1990s, Yahoo was on top. Its brand was everywhere. Investors adored it. Advertisers lined up to reach the growing online audience. Every click was a gold mine. Competitors existed, sure, but Yahoo seemed untouchable. Google was just a quiet newcomer in a garage, and no one imagined it could threaten the giant. Inside the company, confidence was high, but so were the cracks. Leadership struggles, clashing visions, and endless debates over strategy simmered beneath the surface. Some executives pushed for bold moves, acquisitions, or new technology. Others clung to the safe path, afraid to risk what they already had. Despite warnings, Yahoo's dominance created a dangerous comfort. They believed they could do no wrong. And in that quiet overconfidence, the stage was set. Because soon, the internet would evolve faster than anyone anticipated. The giants they ignored would become the titans that crushed them. Little did the world know, a single meeting, quiet, secret, unassuming, would determine whether Yahoo would stay on top or begin a slow, painful decline. A meeting that would define a company, reshape an industry, and haunt the executives for decades to come. It was a cold, overcast morning when Yahoo's top executives gathered in a nondescript boardroom, away from the eyes of the public. No press. No cameras. Just the hum of fluorescent lights and the weight of a decision that could shape the future of the internet. The key players were all there. The CEO, board members, tech advisors, each carrying their own agenda, their own fears. Outside, the world was racing ahead. Google was quietly gaining traction, and Microsoft was circling like a predator. Inside, the tension was almost tangible. On the table lay an opportunity few would ever get. A chance to acquire a fledgling company that could dominate search, or to pivot into a new technology that would redefine online advertising. Analysts had warned them, this could be the defining move of the decade. But the room was divided. One side argued for bold action, buy, invest, innovate. Another side cautioned restraint, citing risk, cost, and, what if it fails? The debate grew heated. Fingers tapped nervously. Eyes darted to the clock. Silence fell after every objection. Minutes stretched like hours. The stakes were enormous. Every executive knew this wasn't just a business decision, it was a chance to secure Yahoo's empire, or watch it crumble. But fear, ego, and indecision clouded judgment. And then, the vote was cast. The decision was made. It seemed safe. Practical. Reasonable. But in the world of tech, safe often means too late. What happened next would echo for years. A single meeting. A single choice. And the internet would never forget. The proposal was simple. The opportunity was massive. Yet, Yahoo hesitated. Inside the quiet boardroom, a choice was made, a choice that would define a decade of regret. Executives debated. Some argued passionately, this is the future. We acquire them now, or we're done. Others countered, their voices calm but cold, it's too expensive. Too risky. Let's wait. And in that moment, caution won. Fear silenced vision. The deal slipped through their fingers. Google, then a small search engine with little fanfare, was passed over. A company that would redefine search, advertising, and the internet itself. Yahoo had the chance to dominate, to shape the digital era, but instead, they chose comfort over courage. Outside the boardroom, the world moved faster than anyone imagined. Google grew quietly, almost invisibly, while Yahoo clung to what it already had. Products stagnated. Innovation slowed. The user base began to drift. Advertisers noticed, talent noticed, and soon, investors began to question what was once untouchable. Inside, the regret was immediate but muted. A few executives whispered, realizing the magnitude of what they had let go. Others buried it under spreadsheets, quarterly reports, and corporate jargon. But the truth was unavoidable. Yahoo had lost its edge in one meeting. Every choice afterward was haunted by that moment. Every acquisition seemed too little, too late. Every new product was measured against the shadow of the opportunity they had ignored. And while Google rose to unimaginable heights, Yahoo's empire slowly crumbled. The decisions that seemed safe in that room were the very ones that led to failure. What could have been a defining victory became a cautionary tale, a story whispered in tech circles for decades. One meeting. One choice. Billions lost. An empire unraveled. And it all began with a moment of hesitation, a fear of risk, and the illusion of safety. The weeks after the decision were quiet on the surface, but beneath, the consequences were unfolding. The weeks after the decision were quiet on the surface, but beneath, the consequences were unfolding. Yahoo's missed opportunity wasn't just a story for Wall Street analysts, it was a shadow that would follow every executive, every product, and every strategy for years. Users began to notice subtle cracks. Search results lagged behind competitors. Email and content platforms felt stale. New startups began to siphon away talent, engineers, marketers, visionaries who saw the energy in Google, in Facebook, in the emerging digital giants. The boardroom, once a place of power, became a place of tension. Executives whispered about the what-ifs that haunted every decision. If only we had acted, they muttered. It was right there. We could have dominated. But hindsight, as always, is cruel. Investors' patience wore thin. Share prices stagnated, then fell. Media stories painted a narrative of indecision, missed innovation, and internal conflict. Yahoo's name, once synonymous with internet dominance, now echoed cautionary tales in tech circles. Meanwhile, Google surged. Every feature Yahoo had passed on became a benchmark. Every acquisition Yahoo ignored fueled a competitor's empire. The company that once ruled the web had become a follower, chasing trends instead of setting them. Executives looked at one another in frustration. Emails were sent, meetings scheduled, strategies proposed, but each move seemed reactive, desperate, and insufficient. The empire they had built with confidence now trembled under the weight of hesitation. And yet, the most painful consequence wasn't numbers or headlines, it was regret. A company capable of defining the internet age had let it slip through its fingers in a single, secret meeting. Decisions that might have made Yahoo a legend became cautionary whispers. What could have been? Every boardroom meeting after that was haunted by the same question: what did we miss? What could we have done differently? Yahoo survived, but survival was no victory. The fall was quiet, slow, and relentless. And for anyone paying attention, the lesson was clear: in tech, hesitation isn't just costly. It can be fatal. Yahoo's story didn't end in one meeting, it echoed for decades. Every misstep, every hesitation, every cautious choice was a reminder of what happens when fear outweighs vision. Look at Google. They took risks, invested in bold ideas, and refused to wait. Amazon, too. Every titan of the internet saw opportunity where Yahoo saw danger. And every time Yahoo chose safety over action, they ceded ground to those willing to bet on the future. The lessons are brutal and clear. First, in a fast-moving industry, hesitation can be fatal. Waiting for certainty is the slowest path to failure. Second, leadership matters, not just in title, but in courage. Boards and executives must act decisively, or the world will pass them by. Third, opportunity doesn't knock twice. Some decisions are irreversible, and a single moment can define a company's legacy. Imagine if Yahoo had bought Google. Imagine if they had invested in emerging technologies, embraced innovation, or taken the bold step others feared. Yahoo could have dominated search, advertising, and the digital era itself. They could have defined the rules of the internet for decades. Instead, they became a cautionary tale. A once mighty empire that faded while the world they ignored rose around them. Employees, investors, and users all felt the ripple of that secret meeting. The secret meeting wasn't just a boardroom moment, it was a crossroads of history. And Yahoo's choice serves as a stark warning: when the future arrives, it waits for no one. Boldness, vision, and courage are rare and priceless. For anyone watching today, the story is more than history. It's a lesson in timing, risk, and the devastating cost of indecision. One meeting, one choice, one company, an empire lost. And as the internet continues to evolve, the shadow of that decision lingers. A reminder that in business, as in life, hesitation can change everything. The story of Yahoo isn't just history, it's a lesson in missed opportunities, fear, and hesitation. If you want to see exactly how one secret meeting reshaped the tech world and cost billions, tap the video above for the full breakdown. Don't just watch history, understand it.